start with the introducing classes here. So what are the classes? So starting with class. So class is just a description of group of objects with common properties or attributes, or we can say that the behavior, relationship and semantics. So अभी तक जो हमने पढ़ा था, आज तक आप लोगों ने जो क्लास की डेफिनेशन पढ़ी थी, जिसमें आप बोलते थे कि क्लास इज एन कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट्स. So here we are having some more compact definition. So it says that class is a description or the group of objects. Fine. So these objects are the real time entities or real world entities with with having some common properties. So अब हम जब क्लास बना रहे हैं तो हम ये मान के चलते हैं कि हमारे पास जो एक ग्रुप बन रहा है ऑब्जेक्ट्स का, उनके पास कुछ ना कुछ कॉमन एट्रीब्यूट्स होना चाहिए. जैसे आपकी क्लास पर हम बात करें तो आपकी क्लास में आपके पास कॉमन एट्रीब्यूट ये हुआ कि आप CS बी सेक्शन के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, आपके पास कुछ कॉमन सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, कॉमन टीचर्स हैं. So these are the common properties that you are having in your class. Then apart from this, you are having some common behavior associated with each member. So हर मेंबर का एक पर्टिकुलर बिहेवियर होगा और वो सभी का नियर अबाउट सेम होगा या सभी का एक जैसा ही बिहेवियर होगा. मतलब अगर आपको BTIT 604 का असाइनमेंट देना है तो इवन एक स्टूडेंट को नहीं देना है, वो सभी को देना है. आपको इसी टाइम पे पर्टिकुलरली 11:15 पर आपको क्लास ज्वाइन करनी है तो आपको 11:15 पर ही क्लास ज्वाइन करनी है. तो CSB सेक्शन के बच्चे जो हैं एक टाइम पर क्लास ज्वाइन करेंगे. सो दे आर having some common properties and behavior. Then comes next issue is the relationships. So associate their relationship or their identity with their uh, another classes और देयर रिलेशनशिप विद अनदर क्लासेस. अगर CSB का एक स्टूडेंट SVIIT से जुड़ा है तो CSB का दूसरा स्टूडेंट भी SVIIT से ही जुड़ा होगा. सो अगर एक बंदे के पास एक रिलेशनशिप आ रही है तो सारे बंदों के पास रिलेशनशिप आ रही है. तो इन शॉर्ट हम ये बोल सकते हैं कि वो कहीं ना कहीं रिलेशनशिप्स आइडेंटिफाई करेगा. देन फाइनली देन कम्स अ वर्ड सिमेंटिक्स. सो दे आर हैविंग सिमेंटिक रिलेशनशिप इन बिटवीन ऑल दोस objects. So we are having group of objects that are having semantic relationship. अगर relationship भी है तो वो semantic relationship है. So these are semantically associated with having some common attributes and common behavior that they shows. So again, what is an object? So object is an instance of a class. So object is just an realization of your class. So when we say that what is a class, so class is a just provide an abstraction where object provides your realization or the implementation of your class. So what is a class? So we can say that class is an abstraction. So what it says that it provides more relevant characteristics while it suppresses other characteristics. For an example, let's say we, you, me, and all, we are human. So we can say that we can represent, we are the object of a class human, but सेम टाइम यू आर द स्टूडेंट ऑफ क्लास CSB. सो हमारे पास अब जब हम क्लास बना रहे हैं तो हमारे पास जब हम ह्यूमन क्लास बना रहे हैं तो हमारे पास उस क्लास की कुछ रिलेवेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आ रही है. कैसे आ रही है कि एक बंदा, मतलब एक ह्यूमन को अगर हम डिफाइन करें तो उसके पास नाम होगा, उसके पास आंखें होंगी, उसके पास कान होंगे, उसके पास नोज होगी, उसकी कुछ एक्टिविटीज होंगी. भाई जब हम स्टूडेंट की बात कर रहे हैं, स्टूडेंट ऑफ CSB, सो व्हाट वी आर सेइंग दैट उसके पास नाक है, कान है, आंख है. दिस आर द इररिलेवेंट एक्टिविटीज. हमको इसकी इन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स पे ध्यान नहीं देना, हमको ध्यान देना है अब यहाँ पर जब मैं रिलेशनशिप की बात करता हूँ या बिहेवियर की बात कर रहा हूँ तो उनके बीच में सिमेंटिक रिलेशनशिप आना चाहिए. तो वो जो स्टूडेंट होगा, वो स्टूडेंट CSB का स्टूडेंट है, उसका ये रोल नंबर, एक पर्टिकुलर एक रेंज में उसके रोल नंबर है, वो ये पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट्स बताएं. तो व्हाट वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग इन दैट एब्स्ट्रैक्शन, वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग दैट common characteristics that are relevant to each other, and we are suppressing all those from other things. So these are a sample class we are having. So what is this class? Let's say this is a class. B says that this is a course. So what is the common properties associated with this course? Let's say this course is BTIT 604 OID. So the class is BTIT 604. So common properties are the name of student, the location where we are studying, then how many days it will offer subjects. So we are having near about 45 lectures available. What are the credit hours? So we can say that we are having 3 credit hours for these subjects. Then what is the start time and what is the end time? So start time will be right from 17th of August 2020, then end will be near about in the November of 2020. Fine. So these are the common properties that it holds your data. While when we are considering the behavior, so behavior is just an this function associated with this class. So what are the function? So function associated with this class is I can add a student in this class, so we can add another students that represents this particular course BTIT 604. I can delete a student, or I can get a course roster or the attendance sheet. Then whether I can determine how many numbers of students are present in my class. So these are the common behavior associated with this class. So how to represent this class? So we can represent our class by simple a rectangle with three compartments. So in the first compartment, we'll write the name of class. So this is an, let's say we are having a class named as professor. So this is a class associated with professor. So this is first, when I am writing this first word, so this in the first compartment, so this is my class. Then what about these two remaining compartments? So in the second compartment, what we'll try to do, we'll put the attributes here. So what are the attributes? So let's say for name of the professor, the name of employee ID, like my name is name of professor, so this is Dr. Abhishek Singh Rathore. Then what is the employee ID? So this is IOIT 079, so this is employee ID, and so on. So these are uh, mm, attributes associated with this class. While operation in the third compartment will write the different operation associated with these classes. So we can create a class, I can save a class or delete a class or change the role list and so on. So these are different function associated with these classes. Or we can create a professor, or we can save a professor, or we can delete a professor, or change the name of professor, or update the information of professor. So these are different information associated with all sorts of things. So मोटे तौर पे बोले तो हमारे पास एक रेक्टेंगल है. So this rectangle is divided into three compartments. First is a professor. First is the class name. Second compartment refers to the name of attributes associated with this class, and third one is the number of operations and written over here. So and there is a liberty that you can add data types with the attributes here, or you can write the written type of functions here. So my advice is that if whenever until you can get a stable version of your class diagram, don't put data types for the attributes and return type for the operation here. Initially you can start with the function and attributes and function name. Then if you are having a stable version of this class diagrams, so you can put here your data types of attributes and return type of the functions over here. Right. Now this is again, so we are having classes of objects here. So we are having 6 images here. First is an eagle, second one is an elephant, third one is an fax machine, fourth is a television, then a camera and a shark available. So can you tell me that how many different objects are available here? Any response from any student? I am waiting for the response. Any topper?
We can categorize in living thing and non-living thing.
Okay, so we are having two categories. First is a living being, and the second one is a non-living being. We'll say another category. Any other responses?
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, first is animal and second is electronic.
ओके फाइन. सो फाइन, थैंक यू. सो अब हम जब यहाँ मेथोडोलॉजी पे बात कर रहे हैं तो हम स्ट्रिक्टली ये नहीं कह सकते कि हम जो हमारा मॉडल बना रहे हैं वो कितना सही है, क्योंकि जब हम एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं तो हमको अब ये चीजें देखनी है कि हम हमारे लेवल पर हमारा जो रियलाइजेशन है रियल वर्ल्ड को देखने का, उस रियल वर्ल्ड को हम कितना इजीली देख सकते हैं. फाइन, हम इस पे हमारे पास चेक नहीं है, क्योंकि देखिए अब मेरे यहाँ जो डिफरेंट क्लासेस के ऑब्जेक्ट्स आ रहे हैं, एक लेवल पे ये मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि वी आर हैविंग लिविंग बीइंग्स एंड अदर वंस आर द नॉन लिविंग बीइंग्स. सेकंड वन, मैं एक लेवल ऑफ एब्स्ट्रक्शन नीचे आता हूँ, तो एक लेवल ऑफ एब्स्ट्रक्शन पे मेरे पास लिविंग को दो पार्ट में डिवाइड करूं तो फर्स्ट आर द मैमल्स एंड सेकंड वन आर नॉन मैमल्स, फाइन। थर्ड मेरे पास फिर मैमल को अगर मैं अलग अलग पार्ट में डिवाइड करूं तो फर्स्ट आर द फर्स्ट हु लिव्स इन द एयर, सेकंड वन हु लिव्स ऑन द लैंड एंड थर्ड हु लिव्स इन द वाटर। सो हमारे पास अलग अलग है। देन कम्स अगेन मेरे पास फिर एक डिटेल एब्स्ट्रक्शन का आ रहा है। डिटेल एब्स्ट्रक्शन में मेरे पास फिर आ रहा है दोज हु आर द कार्निवोरस, those who are non vegetarian and so on। so हमारे पास लेवल ऑफ एब्स्ट्रक्शन डिफरेंट डिफरेंट आ रहे हैं। तो अब हमको ये मैनेज करना है कि हम उस लेवल ऑफ एब्स्ट्रक्शन की कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी किस लेवल पर मैनेज कर सकते हैं। फाइन, सो वी कैन डिफाइन आवर क्लासेस ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट्स। तो जब हम क्लास डिफाइन कर रहे हैं तो हमको अभी यहाँ पे ये चीज देखनी है कि किस चीज को कितना एब्स्ट्रक्शन वे में प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं। फाइन, तो what are the classes? Classes provide the abstraction of your oral data। so अगर मैं यहाँ डेटा देख रहा हूँ तो मेरे पास अब यहाँ पर क्या आ रहा है कि मैं दो क्लासेस डिफाइन कर सकता हूँ, फर्स्ट इज अ लिविंग बीइंग एंड सेकंड वन इज अ नॉन लिविंग बीइंग। सो हमारे पास एक एब्स्ट्रक्शन आ रहा है। जब हम नई हायरार्की में पढ़ेंगे तब हम उसको हायरार्की में लोअर डाउन द एब्स्ट्रक्शन जाएंगे और लोअर डाउन द एब्स्ट्रक्शन में हमारे पास डिफरेंट डिफरेंट implementation डिटेल जो है वाइड implementation डिटेल्स हमको मिलती जाएंगी। फाइन, सो व्हाट इज द रिलेशन बिटवीन योर क्लासेस एंड द ऑब्जेक्ट्स? So a class is an abstract definition of objects where it provides the structure and behavior associated with each object। so when, before going this uh, uh, picture, so these are the objects, and when I define the classes of this object, so we put some abstraction level of abstraction here. I have to define which level of abstraction either I want to include, so I will define a level of abstraction here. For that abstraction I can define, so I put a highest level of abstraction, so I can divide these images into two levels. First is an two classes, first is a living being and second one is non-living being। so what we can say says that this classes represents a template for your objects। so your objects are just a realization of your classes। so uh, all those objects we can divide into different classes। so we are having three diagrams. I think that might not be visible to you because I wrote in the white background with yellow text, so I will change this। so fine, we are having three different professors or objects here available। so these three objects are represent to a same class, so we can say that these three objects refers to one class, so this class is a professor। now uh, after going to classes, we'll cover attributes। so we are having first we cover these objects, then we are having classes, then in classes we are having two different entities, one is attribute and second one is operation। so we'll go for attribute first। so what are the attributes? so we can put attributes in the second compartment of the diagram। so here for the class for an object, for a class, let's say course offering, so for a class course offering we are having three attributes named as namely a number, start time and the end time। so here you can see that second compartment of your class diagram। so when you want to put this attribute in an object, so here and these are available। so for an class offering, this is the first object and this is my second object। so I'm not having the name of these objects, so what can I say that that this particular object refers to a particular class named as course offering। so I will put class name after a column so that we can refer that this particular object refers to the class of course offering। so now as in the previous class we studied that each object has their states। so here these are in the class diagram, this number is just an behavior or the abstraction level of abstraction, while in case of objects you will see that this number has an value। so we can say that this object has a state। so what is the state? so state says that the number is 101, start time is 900 and end time is 1100, while the another object which says that whose states is number is 104, start time is 1300 and end time is 1500। so if you want to put a name for an object, so you can put the name of objects before this column। So if let's say this is an object A and this is an object B, so I will write A before this column and B before this column, so we can identify. Otherwise, if you don't want to put the name of the objects, just refer its identity. So identity can be referred by putting the name of class after a column. Fine. So then we'll go for operations. So what are the operations? So operations will be added in the third compartment of our class diagram. So what are the operations? So operations are the add student or for the class course offering. So we are having add students or delete students or the gate start time on the gate end time. So this is my mistake that I have to put parenthesis after that get add student or the delete student. So kindly remember this, that you have to put the parenthesis after add student or delete student or the get start time or the end start time for an object oriented languages. Fine. So here these are the operations. So while in the previous slide I have put these objects here. So these are the objects. So I put the state. But in case of objects, in case of your objects, we don't have to write the operations in your objects. So because these are related or these are written in your classes, so we don't have to put in the objects. Objects is just having just only having their states. So states are represented in the objects, while the operation definitions are written in the class definition. Now next comes the what are the interfaces. So what are the interfaces? So for the interfaces, first we'll cover the polymorphism. So what is a polymorphism? This is a Greek word which says that poly and poly plus morphism, which is the combination of many forms. So we says that a single thing which is available in many forms. Uh, so first example of this polymorphism in the real world entity is just an interface. So what is the interface here? Interface provides a way of polymorphism. So it provides an encapsulation where encapsulation hides the implementation details. So for this example, you are having three different, let's say three television sets are available, and we are having common uh, uh, remote available for these three TV sets. So we are having, let's say, plus sign for increasing volume and minus sign for decreasing volume, as well as the C plus is for the increasing the channel number, C minus is the number for decreasing the channel. So what we are providing is we are just providing the interfaces over here, so you can increase your volume or decrease your volume, or you can change your channels, while implementations are not written in this uh, interface. While this implementation were written in their different television sets, or we can say that these implementations are written in different classes. So for this class must realize sorry this let's say this is a class. So this class must realize the implementation level of this interface. Similarly, this class B must realize the implementation details for this interface. Similar case for the class C. So what we are providing is, if you are handling and you are giving your what can I say that your remote to your end client. So what your end client is having, your end client is having just a handler, and you are having just an interface over here. So interface just commands to the classes that you have to do something like that. So you are hiding your implementation details, and just in short way we can say that these interfaces are the principal way of providing encapsulation in your object-oriented methodology. So what are the interfaces? So for interfaces are just an formalized way of polymorphism. We say that we can support plug and play devices. For an example, आपने अभी APIs पर काम करा होगा, आपने एंड्रॉइड फोन में विजेट्स पे काम करा होगा, तो आपके ये जो मोबाइल फोन आ रहे हैं, ये मोबाइल फोन यूजुअली प्रोवाइड क्या कर रहे हैं? These are the interfaces, while implementation details, let's say checking weather reports, or even different APIs and APKs are available. So these API and APKs are just an realization of all sorts of things. And while we are in widgets, so from these widgets we are just calling the values or just checking. Sorry, we are just calling the functions. So in short, we are having just we are not having the implementation details, but we can do all the functions that are written in that classes. So these APIs and APKs are just an implementation of interfaces over here. So for an example, so how can we provide an interface? So first, if you are providing a 3 compartments model for interfaces, so in first compartment you have to put the name of interfaces with uh, before with an stereotype named interfaces before the name of that interface. So this is the stereotype you have to write. You have to write this stereotype before the name of your interface. So this is the stereotype added before the name of interfaces, that is named as a shape. Then comes the second interface, sorry, second compartment. So this compartment is put empty because we don't want to put the properties over here. So next comes the third compartment. So in the third compartment we'll write the behavior associated with this shape. So this shape, we are having different behaviors which are says that we can draw in shape, we can move the shape, we can scale shape, or we can rotate the shape. So as per the definition, this is just an interface available here, and for these interfaces, um, we have to implement. So for a particular shape named as tube, we can draw a tube, or we can move tube, or we can scale tube, and we can rotate tube. So in case of this tube, we are having data or states available, or we can say that the properties are available for this tube. So we don't put name of the property in the interfaces. So we'll provide this details in the realizing class. Then if you want to provide, if you want to implement these interfaces or just realize these interfaces, you have to draw the definition, you have to write the definition of all are the available, that you want all the functions that are available, or that function you want to realize in your third compartment. So we are having different shapes are available. These are the tubes, pyramids, and the cubes. Fine. Next comes, so we are having 2 types of implementation details are available for here. So first, we can either represent as an iconic representation. So in case of iconic representation, we just put a round circle over here. So this is just an implement. This is a represent. We can iconically represent interfaces as an circle over here with some association relationships with our classes. Then if you want to provide a canonical or the stereotype representation, so you can put a 3 compartment diagram over here with some stereotypes, and then you will provide uh, relationship. So we are, when we are providing a round circle, so we are having a straight line with no direction, while we are having, when we are going for the canonical representation, you can see that we are having a dashed line with uh, a rectangle uh, pointing towards your interface. Fine. So kindly remember this different notations for your interfaces while drawing your diagrams. Then we are going for components. So what are the components? These components are usually independent and the replaceable part of your system. So when I'm saying that these are the independent and the replaceable part of the system, so it helps in the working of your system, but it is not a necessarily part of your system. For an example, let's say for a car, the AC or the sound system is just a component of your uh, car system. So it is an independent uh, without the uh, existence of car, we can have a sound system, or without the existence of this sound system, we are still have a car which functions well. So these are the independent and the replaceable, or we can say that these are the detachable part of your system. So that can add some more functionality to your system. Otherwise, we can go without different this components. So we are the implementation details. Sorry, the diagrammatic detail for these components are. Let's say this is the first type of component. So we can write the components as here, or we can put a stereotype over here. So this is an executable name, or we can add an component interface with the component over here. So this is just the first diagram which is available here is just a representation of components here. So you are having two rectangles coinciding with your rectangle, bigger rectangle. So this is just an component over here. Then we'll go for packages. So what are the packages? So these packages are the general purpose mechanism for organizing your elements in a group. So you already did the programming in Java, or Java, or in let's say you're in Python. So you are already implemented the packages. So packages are just as case of analogy in the Windows. So these are just an different folders available that group similar type of data in a single folder. So the representation is just similar to the folder icon here. So you can write package name here and represent as a folder icon for there. So this you can put your different model elements which are related to each other in a single package. So what are the uses of these packages? You can organize a very well or similar type of your data models in a package. Then so this is a smallest unit of your configuration management. So which type of uh, object oriented characteristics it represents. So it provides it helps to implement the modularity. So you are having different. So we are having only one. So sorry. So we are having we can implement modularity with the help of these packages. So uh, we can say that one package is being developed by one team and second package is being developed by the second team, and so on. So even uh, in case of Java, we are having different packages which these packages provides similar type of operations. Let's say Java util and Java IO and so on. So one IO helps in implementation of input output streams, and util provides different utilities. So we can separate all different functionalities in different packages. So it helps to implement modularity in our object oriented methodology. Then comes the subsystem. So what are the subsystems? So these subsystems are the combination of different packages. Fine. So but in addition to that uh, combination of packages, we are having some interfaces associated with each subsystem. So what these interfaces provide? This interfaces provides an abstraction or the polymorphism, or just an handler for your subsystem. So you don't want to give implementation details of your subsystem. Instead, you will provide the interface of this subsystem so that a user can call the method of these interfaces, and when this method of the interfaces are called, so the classes that realizes these interfaces just be invoked while calling these interfaces. So we are having a diagram similar to the package for a subsystem, but you have to put a stereotype over here, name subsystem for a subsystem. Then you can put your customized name of your subsystem. So in addition to that, we added a realization link with interfaces in between subsystem and the interfaces. So we are having three things. First is an interfaces. So this is an uh, round circle for the interfaces. Then we are having a realization link. Then we are having a subsystem, a package with like stereotype subsystem. So this is a subsystem. So what it provides? So it provides an encapsulation as well as the modularity. So subsystem is a combination of different packages. So it provides an modularity while we are associating an interfaces with this uh, subsystems. So we'll get an encapsulation. So combinedly, we can say that a subsystem can help to implement encapsulation as well as the modularity in our programming languages. So we can will implement all sorts of things in our programming language. Then subsystem and the components. So what are the components? So components are the physical realization or the abstraction of your design, while So we are having two different diagrams available here. So when we are going for the design model later in our course, so if you are implementing an component, so we are in having some design model, so we'll represent this sub component as a subsystem with a component interface. While we are going for the implementation details, so we'll cover this subsystem as a component name. So these components are just an subsystem over here. So also it helps to encapsulate all helps to implement encapsulation as well as the modularity. So what are the advantages that we can subsystem can be used to represent the component in the design diagram. So when we are having some implementation details or detailed information available, then we can go for the component. Otherwise, in case of design, we can go for the subsystem, and later we can define what are the different components available here. So in the early stages or in the design stages, instead of defining the component, we can go for the subsystem, and then uh, when we are having the white details or very white details for the implementation, so we'll define the components, and then will these components will be put in the different subsystems available. Fine. Then comes the relationship. So we are having different relationship associated with each other. So we are three relationships are available here. First is an association, second one is dependency, third one is generalization, and fourth one is realization. So first in association. So we are going for the association. Association is just a degree of a relationship between semantic relationship between among two classes. So let's say we'll put two classes over here and put the name of association for uh, over this link. So we are having a class which is named as professor, another class is a university. So professor works for an university. Otherwise we can put different names, role names with their class names. So so the second diagram says that a professor is an employee of university, or we can say that university is an employer of a professor. So we can put uh, different names associated with the different classes, or we can put a generalized name for an realization, sorry, association link here. Then comes we are having two different relationships with this association. So first is an aggregation. So aggregation represents your whole part relationship, where uh, which that a class that is a whole will represent a diamond here. So we are saying that this student is in whole, so we'll represent, so we'll draw an association line with diamond linked with this student, a whole part, whole class, while we are having a single link pointing towards, not pointing, so just an linked with this schedule or the part type. So what is the whole part relationship? So whole part relationship between let's say this a class is a student has a student has a schedule, while we can't say that a schedule has number of students. So this whole represents that we are having multiple, this is a superset, or then this schedule is a subset of this student. Or we can say that let's say S triple V is a whole and SVIT is a part. So I can write uh, here is an Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, and I can write SVIT as a part of our whole part relationship for different classes available here. Then comes the composition. So composition it says that a strong relationship. While in case of aggregation, we don't have a strong relationship between two classes. While in case of composition, that there exists a strong relationship between these classes. So when I am saying that a car is a whole and AC or the stereo is a part, so we can go for aggregation. While in case of SVIT, SVIV and SVIT, so SVIT doesn't exist uh, without the existence of SVIV. So this is a composition relationship where part doesn't exist without the existence of your whole class. So just a simple difference between aggregation and composition is that is that where a part cannot exist independently in case of composition, where in case of aggregation a part can be exist without an existence of your whole class. So next we are going for the multiplicity and the navigation. So we can put direction as well as the multiplicity of the relationship between two classes. Usually these relationships are the bidirectional, but we can have a unidirectional relationship between two classes. So let's say uh, this is first line. This first line says that we are having unspecified multiplicity available, so we can't define all those multiplicity over here. While we are going for exactly one. So let's say there exists a class here and there exists a class here. So for this point, we don't have any specific multiplicity over here. But for this class, we can have single single relationship with this. So we can say that exactly one. So we can say that a car has exactly one owner, but a owner can have multiple classes, or so we can't say specify the number of multiplicity over here. Then we are going for zero or more. So we can put zero then dash dash star, or we can just put a star as a wild card for multiplicity or unlimited number of multiplicity over here. Then when we are going for one or more, so we start with one, then we'll put star. So one or many more. Then zero or one, so we'll put zero, double dots, then one. Then when we are having a specific range, so we can put a specific range. Let's say range is from 2 to 4, so I will write 2 dot dot 4. Or we can have a multiple disjoint sets, disjoint ranges. So first range is only 2, so I'll put 2, then comma, then we are having a it ranges from 4 to 6, so I will write 4 double dot 6. So these are the association relation, multiplicity relationship between them. So let's take an example. So we are having an example of whole part relationship with navigation as well as the multiplicity over here. So let's say student is in whole and schedule is in part. So what we can say that a student has each student has number of schedules available. We can't go for that. This since this is a unidirectional navigation, so we can't say that an schedule has number of students, because our information flows from student to schedule. So we can ask here, or we can call the methods of schedule over here, but we can't call the method of students from the schedule in the implementation detail for this. So a student can have then putting multiplicity. So this a student has a number of schedules available. Then again we are going for the aggregation. So for this aggregation, we can say that a student has a schedule. So a student has, so this aggregation represent the has relationship. So this student has a schedule, while uh, then goes for aggregation. So we don't say that a schedule exists. We can say that a schedule exists independently, while when we are having a composite relationship, we put this dark diamond over here. So that dark diamond says that schedule does not exist independently without the existence of student. So that's it from my side for today. So any questions from anybody? Any questions? Any questions? I'm waiting. So I think that we don't have any questions. So thank you from my side. How many numbers of students are available for this class? So 59 students are available. Any questions? Ananda or who are doing Dev Pratap or किसको जानता हूँ? ठीक. Any questions? Any questions from?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Fine.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you.
No, sir.
Thank you, sir.